Hello, everyone. It's Tuesday, March 1st, 5:26 p.m., also known as Fat Tuesday, right? So the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. So Ash Wednesday, as we all know, is tomorrow, and that marks a day of Lent, or the beginning of Lent, and also a day of fasting. So I guess the idea is to get fat today so that it's kind of like a last hurrah before Lent. So my kids talked me into getting all kinds of nonsense dessert. So anyway, I'm not gonna get into Lent, although for Lent I have a tough Lent ahead of me. I'm trying to give up complaining because I complain too much, especially to God. So I'm gonna try to give up complaining, which in these times is going to be quite the challenge. I fast normally from food anyway on a regular basis, so the fasting is like whatever for me. So I decided to give up something more productive to my spiritual growth, I guess you could say. So that's what I will be attempting to give up. Um, So I just wanted to take a look at where we have been over the last year, I guess. I did a video yesterday on Russia and the Immaculate Heart of Mary and all this stuff. But one thing I do want to point out that I really haven't covered too much because it's such a divisive topic right now, and I try not to feed into that because Satan really does love division and animosity, but it cannot be neglected anymore. Um, and that is the fact that 7 months ago or so, I think it was in July of 2021, Pope Francis came out with his infamous document basically outlawing the traditional Latin Mass, except under very strict circumstances. Some bishops, including my own bishop here in South Carolina, who actually is retiring and we're now having a new one coming in, took it upon themselves to follow that dictate and ban all kinds of stuff. So there are no more Latin masses in my diocese, which is the whole state of South Carolina. And he went as so far as to confirm that priests are not allowed to use the old rites for things such as baptism. So it was really a blow to the small Catholic population here, and especially the traditionally minded Catholic population. And we're in kinds of a unique position here in South Carolina because we are growing. It's the Catholic Church here is growing for a number of reasons. One is because people are fleeing the northern states. So they're fleeing New York and New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, with their liberal policies, and they're moving down here. And with them, they are bringing their Catholic roots because most of them from those areas, from Italy, Ireland. My parish is mostly Irish and Italian. I suspect there's some Polish people as well. And so these are the people who are more conservative in their political views because they have seen the destruction that liberalism and democratic policies cause. They've literally been taxed out of their homes for the most part. So I think that has led a lot of people to kind of reject anything associated with liberalism. And so now they see this whole alignment of Pope Francis with the globalists, with um, Joe Biden. And, it's no secret that he definitely receives Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi more warmly than he has received Trump in the past, things like this. And so it's having a lot of people questioning and looking back at tradition and things like that. So it's a very strange area that I'm in personally, whereas most other states are shutting churches down. Our diocese seems to be building new schools and churches. So it's interesting. So hopefully, I have high hopes for this bishop. I don't know. I'll just pray for him. That's all I can do. But anyway, so 7 months ago that happened, and it hasn't even been a year, right? So it hasn't been even been a year since that happened, and already we have seen massive unrest. We have seen unrest in massive European unrest in Canada and also overseas in Europe, which was already building up, but Canada kind of took the world by surprise with all these trucker convoys. So we have seen some really bad things happening. Some really the divide has largely grown, and now seemingly we are on the brink of World War III, quite possibly. So we have to kind of take a step back and hit the pause button and ask ourselves what exactly is going on. Now, at the risk of, I guess, being divisive, I would like to address Latin just in and of itself, the sacred language of Latin, the canonized language of Holy Mother Church that has seemingly been wiped out of the churches, right? And so, for what is the purpose? Well, evidently, from what they seem to say, for unity, I guess. I'm not really sure. They want us to all abide by the new mass, but the new mass, I don't know how that promotes unity when everybody is saying it in a different language. So I'm a little confused there, but never mind that. Let's talk about what the exorcists say about Latin. Well, the exorcists say that Latin seems to be more effective against the demonic. So is it a coincidence that here we are 7 months after trying to banish Latin from the universe, church Latin, that we're now on the brink of World War III? I don't know. I'm not the smartest person alive, but I think I'm pretty good at, making some connections and picking up on things and remembering things. I have a pretty good memory. And so I kind of wanted to see, like, I haven't commented too much on this banning of the Latin Mass. I was upset about it. I didn't talk about what our response was here to our bishop banning that, but there was some protesting and things like that. I might have talked about it actually, but we did make a very public display of tradition at one point at a mass that our bishop had conducted for confirmations. And so division is not good, but neither is disregarding the traditional mass. That's definitely not good either. And is this the fruit of that? Is the banishing of Latin in the traditional mass responsible for what seems to me like a pretty demonic rising? A rising of darkness, which no doubt was already starting, but I mean, it kind of really escalated pretty quickly, in my opinion. But who am I? So I guess that's my point. My point is, we are being told that this is for unity and for the good of the church, but it's not. It has nothing to do with unity. So what is the reason? I don't think we have ever gotten a clear reason other than we need to update the liturgy. But why? What was the reason behind that? There is no reason. What was the reason for getting rid of Latin when it says in the Vatican II documents not to get rid of Latin? What is the reason behind cheesy music at Mass? What is the reason behind the fact that you don't even have a second at Mass to sit there and meditate on Jesus because you're constantly standing up, sitting down, shaking hands, whatever else? Why is the priest looking at us instead of looking at God? These are all questions I have that have not been appropriately answered. And I'm not alone. Obviously, there's many people out there saying the same thing, but I just find it like an exclamation point. Like, not even a year after this attack on tradition. And then what did we have after that happen? Well, we had the German bishops come out and say that the church needs to change her teaching on gay marriage. I mean, it just really escalated. And so not even a year after that, we're on the brink of World War III. So sit here and talk to me about praying for the people of Ukraine all you want. I do. I said 7 Hail Marys for them today. But there's a deeper problem that is manifesting in the world right now. There's a deeper problem in the church that is manifesting in the world. Why? Because the church is supposed to be the restrainer of evil. The church is supposed to be combating the errors of the world and the devil, not going along with them. not making it easier for the devil to have his way with the population of the world. So you see what I'm saying? So if we know this about exorcists saying this, and it's not just one, it's many, many exorcists have said this about the language of Latin, that it's more effective against demons. Why would we ever get rid of it? I don't understand unless it's being done on purpose, but I'm not going to accuse people of that because I don't know. Obviously, it's all being done within divine providence. God is allowing it to happen. But I think it's important to document as we go along these connections, this cause and effect relationship between what the church does and how that manifests in the world. So that's my point. And it's a unique problem to the West. And I talked about it yesterday. The West has forgotten who they are. I'm not including myself in that because I know full well who I am. But most of the West has forgotten their roots because of secular education. But the Roman Catholic Church has also forgotten her roots. So you see this problem manifesting in just the general population of the West. And I'm scared of the course correction that we are going to get. It's necessary. It'll ultimately be for the better. But I think everybody who has any sort of spiritual sense right now can feel a deep, I don't know how to say it. I wouldn't say anxiety, but just a unsettledness in their soul at events to come. So I don't want to be on here ringing the alarm or anything like that. What can we do? Well, we can start praying in Latin. That's what we can do. If the devil hates Latin and the church is not going to pray in Latin, then we as individual laity can do that. That's not in disobedience to the church. The language is not outlawed. We can still learn Latin prayers. A good one is to look up on YouTube. I'll post the link below. The St. Benedict prayer, the St. Benedict medal actually has a prayer on it, and you can learn that, and you can pray that in Latin. The Latin table blessing, so the prayer before meals, can be prayed in Latin. That's a good one because that's 3 times a day. So my kids actually will pray that in Latin, even at their Novus Ordo Catholic school. They actually sing it in Latin. They're pretty awesome. The Ave Maria, that's a really easy one to learn. The Pater Noster, I'm not that good at that one yet, but I'm pretty good at the Ave Maria. So maybe I'll incorporate some more Latin praying into my Lenten practices, and that's kind of why I wanted to jump on here and do this the night before Lent. So if you don't have anything, I always think it's good to add something to Lent, your Lent devotions. And that's an easy one. That's not overburdensome. Maybe your goal is just throughout the 40 days, just learn one Latin prayer. Easy enough, right? And again, I'm not saying this to be disobedient. There's nothing disobedient about it. But I am saying, obviously, Houston, there's a problem. So I'm a solutions oriented person. Obviously, I'll keep praying my rosary. Learn how to pray the rosary in Latin. There's some beautiful Latin rosaries on YouTube, on the app Hallow. I think they have Latin on there as well. I'm not sure, but wouldn't that be a beautiful thing for the whole church to be united under her canonized language? I think it would be. That seems like unity to me, not disunity. Isn't it easier to learn one extra language than to learn Spanish, French, German to be able to communicate with somebody else, in a different land? I don't know. It doesn't really seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. Wouldn't you want one unifying language if you're trying to unify people? So, all right. Hope y'all have a great Fat Tuesday. Joan of Arc Media out.